going to help you recall a positive memory and then visualize all the details that you can remember about it. This gives you similar benefits to if you were actually reliving it.
Alright, so walked the dog, made some coffee. Just going to do a little bit of eyes shut, calm myself down a bit. I feel a bit G'd up internally. And then, just write a short plan for the day. To-do list. Then reorder that to-do list in. I like to do the easy thing first, and then the hard thing, and then just maintain some type of medium difficulty until the day closes. I find that's best for productivity. And I suppose I'll check in as to how it's developed later on. I feel like closing your eyes is scary because you kind of wake up to how much you're actually in combat with your own self. It's like I'm fighting every part of myself, kind of like resisting that desire to drift on back calmly into baseline. Because it's almost as if I'm afraid that when I'm at peace, that's when people around me are going to treat me badly. Alright, so my understanding with having your eyes closed or meditation as it currently stands on, I think, the 30th of August 2024 is when you shut your eyes, you're meant to stop resisting yourself, and you're meant to come into contact with all the processes which are happening automatically without conscious thought, I suppose. And so the goal, meditation, fitness, all these things is really just, from my understanding now, whether that has any value as a skinny, broke dude, is that I'm actually meant to be conditioning myself to feel comfortable with all the processes which are happening automatically. And that gives me, once I'm relaxed within those, that gives me a greater permission to come into contact with things which are externally chaotic. Because if I can't deal with the things that are happening inside me, then it makes it infinitely harder to be prepared for the chaotic sides of external life. And so I don't have to, but it's probably a good idea, especially as a 30-year-old dude, to learn how to feel comfortable with myself, become accustomed to whatever experiences are happening internally. Because if I focus on those, especially because I got quite a lot of tension, particularly around that area that I just pinched, it's almost as if when I focus on them, it frees them up. And that requires me kind of like drifting back, and you kind of look like a dozy geezer. And you kind of focus in on that area, and for whatever reason, it kind of releases the tensions that's in those areas. My understanding of this is you reach homeostasis, and your body realizes that it's not in danger, and then that it can assign kind of resources to certain areas which have become restricted through my understanding of it now, and I could be wrong, but through traumatic experiences which has left the animal traumatized, and things stop moving when you're exposed to traumatic experiences, because your body's getting prepared to do whatever it can to keep you alive. And most of the time that involves running away, shutting down processes, and giving the animal the greatest chance of escape. And when that's traumatized is where you don't recover to that position of safety, and your body keeps associating itself with being in danger. And then you spend your life unconsciously or consciously, I'm not sure, I think it's unconsciously, searching for where that danger is that no longer exists. And that leads to me to the position now where my body has just got so many stress chemicals within it that I'm like struggling to do a lot of very easy things because they're overwhelming, because my body's like, oh, this is the danger, but it's an illusion, and I'm just trapped within past experience. And so it would be very, very sensible of me to do exactly what I'm doing and just shut myself off from friends and events and all these things, and just learn how to shut my eyes and accept that I'm no longer in danger, and that the only danger is my almost addiction to negative past experience. But yeah, I mean, I have very little faith in my answers at the moment, so I could be wrong, but it sounds right to me in this moment, and it gives me something to pursue. So I don't know if you can see the bird. Ow. Ow. I think a big risk for injury is doing uncoordinated exercises at random times. It's kind of like, oh, I'll just do something right now. But you don't have to do that when you're recovering. You want everything to be purposeful. And if there isn't a purpose to it, in many cases it's best to avoid it, because I've done damage to my tendons around my left knee because I was just doing random things which served no purpose and only provided a risk for my kind of consistent progress. So a lack of purpose is an enemy to progress. Alright, let's see if I can kind of experiment a little with this camera. Just with inventive shots, nothing weird. I think there's maybe something cooler I can do, but I'll save it for another time. I think that's enough filming for today. Whew. Let's keep working in this same way for as long as we can.